so much. We have Beau Dietl, former New York City police detective, head of a private investigative firm, all-round man about town, media presence. Beau, we haven't talked about this case yet. Your overall impressions?
Well, you want to know something. That community there in Brooklyn, I remember when I was a detective there, it's a very close-knit community. Everybody knows what's going on there. And that's one of the reasons why it was so quickly solved, because people know each other and they know what areas are there. And thank God for those cameras. I mean, Commissioner Kelly was one of the great advocates of the cameras everywhere around the city. This proves that, you know, there's never too many cameras there. And if you're not doing anything wrong, you should have no problems with cameras being out there. This showed how they were able to track this guy down. And again, I really compliment the New York City Police Department for them continuing the investigation to see if this creep has a real history or if he just snapped for 1 second, because I want to know if there was other children that possibly have been abused, or was he just a complete nut that just snap?
Well, now they're saying, his lawyer's saying that he's hearing voices. Listen, anybody who kills somebody is not in their right mind.
When I arrested a guy back in 1984 for the Palm Sunday Massacre, he systematically shot 10 people, including 8 children under the age of 12 in Brooklyn.
Was that in a
It was East New York. East New York. He systematically shot.
What location?
East New York, on Liberty Avenue, 1080 Liberty Avenue. Yeah. He systematically shot all these children in the head, and we found out it was over a drug deal. He had to eliminate everybody because they knew who he was, and then we went to trial with him, and a Brooklyn jury came back with a manslaughter verdict and said that he was out of his mind. Yeah, he was out of his mind, but what do you do with a mad dog? You don't keep a mad dog alive, and that was one of my big, I'm a big advocate for the death penalty for garbage like this. Why do we got to keep him alive for? I mean, that little child had no defense there when he was being cut up like that.
Couple of weird things here. Number one, the drive upstate with the boy. Apparently, this guy took the guy upstate to go to a wedding. That's weird. But also, this guy may not have been a pedophile. They have found no evidence that there was molestation. Apparently, he was looking for companionship, which is terribly bizarre. One more thing, Beau, he's got scratches on him. The kid put up a fight.
Well, God bless that little boy, and God knows what was going through his mind when he was trying to smother the kid to death. But then on the other side, when the investigation's continuing, the wife there in the South, there where he got married to this woman down there, she had an order of protection against. He had assaulted her, and we got to look really into it, because this guy's 35 years old. I mean, he's been living for 35 years. I want to know what else is there, if anything, or did he just snap? You know, the detectives there are doing a great job. They didn't just stop the investigation. That's what's so good about this, that Commissioner Kelly and the detectives are out there.
And the Shamram, the community patrol,
yes.
what the Shamram?
They have a community patrol.
Tell us about it. It's like an informal group of Orthodox Jews who work to protect the neighborhood.
When something happens in that community, I mean, even if a police officer gives a ticket to the wrong guy, you'll have about 2,000 people storming the station house. I remember this. They're a very close-knit community group, and that they have an ambulance corps, they have a security corps, they walk around the streets. If someone doesn't belong in that neighborhood and they're looking like they're up to something, you'll see cars pull up from all ends over there. You know, they police their own community. It's a great community.
It's just a shame that this kid just bumped into the wrong person at the wrong time.
Isn't that funny? He took the wrong...
Just got lost the first time that he was allowed to walk home alone.
But what was in, I mean, the child was supposedly sitting in the car when he went to a wedding. This is just stuff that I'm getting. And then the other side of it, I think there was some signs of some restraints on the little boy when this, we got to call him an animal, and people don't like using that word, but I'll call him an animal. This animal then actually went to work and then came back. That's when he smothered the young boy. So that little boy possibly was tied up in that apartment when he was going to work on Tuesday, I believe it was. And it's something, I mean, it's one of horrific crimes that I've ever heard. You know, killing someone's one thing, but when you dismember someone like that, we all have children, we all have families, and we all can relate to it, and it's really horrific.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, Beau. Well, thanks for coming in, sharing with us your observations, your feelings, your insights. I want to talk, though, a little bit about your resume, your Hollywood resume, your film resume. Who's seen Goodfellas? Goodfellas. Ray Liotta, at the very end of the movie, is arrested by Beau Dietl.
Let's see. Where is he?
Blow your brains out. Shut the car up slowly.
That's Beau Dietl holding the gun.
It's a real gun.
That is a real gun?
I hope it didn't have real bullets.
No, we took the cartridges out.
That's so funny.
Now watch it again. Watch again. This is Beau Dietl. All of a sudden, Ray Liotta realizes the cops are there.
Blow your brains out.
That's Beau.
Shut the car up slowly.
Now, Beau, you weren't a full-time actor. How'd you get this part?
Well, it's just funny. When I retired back in 1985, because of my hurting my leg and parachute with these Saudi Arabians. I broke my leg in half, my ankle in half. So then they told me I was going to go on what they call light duty, and then they says, oh, you'll stay on light duty for a year. I said, I'm not staying anyway. I put my papers in, I got out right away, and when I retired, I met this guy named Nicholas Pileggi.
Oh, the writer.
He was writing a book called Wise Guy, and it was all about my neighborhood with Paul Verio and all the places that I grew up with. Henry Hill I knew too. And next thing is I got involved with him with that movie. We went up to Rayo's. We casted 10 guys up Rayo's. P.D. Neck, Mikey Black, Frankie No, Johnny Roast Beef. We had all these guys casted. We had Nicholas Pileggi up there, a guy named Martin Scorsese, and Ellen Luce, the casting director. And we sat up in Rayo's and we casted all these guys. And hence, this is one of the most realistic movies that I've ever been involved in. And Nicholas Pileggi went on to do Casino.
Oh,
you know, we know who he's married to, Nora Ephron, who's another phenomenal person.
They're a dynamic duo.
I'm going to tell you, but it was great filming that movie because I lived it. It was all about the Lufthansa heist. A lot of that had to do with Jimmy Burke was his real name in the movie.
Jimmy Conway.
Jimmy Conway was played by Robert De Niro, and I knew Jimmy Burke. And then when I was working in the 7-5 Detective Squad doing homicides, not doing homicides, investigating homicides, I had to go to Allenwood Prison to take Jimmy Burke back, and I knew him as a kid because of 2 murders that Henry Hill had given him up on, and I had to bring him back to stand trial, and I knew Jimmy Burke very, very well.
Henry Hill turned out to be a rat. Because a rat will do anything to survive. Isn't that right, Mr. Hill? Mr. Hill, you know everything about being a rat.
You feed cheese to a rat. You feed cheese. And you know who they had in the movie? Remember Ed McDonald? He was the actual prosecutor.
He played himself.
Yeah.
One thing about, I never liked this whole rat thing because rat is pejorative, and if you're giving up somebody's criminal activity, that makes you an honorable person, in my opinion. You're not a rat.
No. If we're gonna, all 3 of us are gonna go out, and we're gonna do stick-ups, and we all put our hands together, we're gonna do stick-ups, and you get caught, Greg, you better not give me and Rosanna up, because you're a rat.
Why are you telling everybody about our big plan?
Okay, but the point is, if you're gonna be part and parcel, and the old-time wise guys, they would go to jail for the rest of their lives, and there ain't no more. They flip like fresh pancakes in a frying pan.
You know, look, if you did a crime, I guess if you can atone for it, one thing you can do is
don't be a rat. Come on, Greg.
I'm advocating. I think you gotta come clean.
No. You
what
gotta
would a
come
priest
clean
tell
with
you?
yourself. Go and do your time if you get caught. Don't give up everybody else. Don't
I'm
be
all
a
about
rat.
don't give up innocent people, but you know, giving up a fellow criminal.
So if Rosanna did something wrong on this show, you would give her up to the managers here. You'd give her up.
He would.
Don't be a rat, Greg.
That is not true, and you know it.
All right, you're in the Marine Corps, right? And all of a sudden, one of the guys had a couple of beers on the side. You're going to give him up, Greg?
First of all, if beer's on the side when it comes to flying or something like that, not only would I give him up, I would what?
All right, military, combat, Marine.
Yeah,
stop bringing in this airline stuff. Now forget about pilot stuff.
We don't
I'm talking about
we're
a couple
professionals.
Marines having a couple of beers out there in the terrain.
I would stop them. I would take away their beer.
Oh, you
absolutely?
Would you tell somebody
hey,
on them?
Let me tell you something,
You a
Beau.
rat?
You ever worry?
Time out.
You a rat?
That's it. Both go to your own sides.
Don't be a rat, Greg.
Thank you.
Well, it's not being a rat.
No,
we want to have some beers.
Stop it.
I won't tell anybody we had beers before we did the show.
Gina, we love you. We love
Don't be a rat, Greg.
Greg.
What if he has beer but I'm not around?
Woods. Can we go
Somebody
to Mike
could die.
Woods?
All right, we got to go to Dick Brennan. Dick, talk about it.
We're going to go to Dick Brennan? All right, Dick Brennan is at Yankee Stadium. He's getting ready for a big concert.